We're
Here
looking
we go.
right there on that Lotus 7. John Nash did our school. And two really close friends on the front row who are neighbors this weekend in the paddock. So I hope nothing goes wrong here on the front row.
Here we go then, nicely clumped together as they prepare themselves for their race. This is our Group 1, Group 3, Group 4 and 5B, Race 2 getting underway, and the Malik is off to the races. Pulling quickly ahead of John Nash.
But look at that, our birthday boy, Alan Cassavant in that Lotus 7 tries to get by Quirby, but he doesn't let it happen there. Quinn Derby, sorry I said Quirby, I combined his names. That's his new nickname.
I like it, Quirby.
That's a beautiful Triumph Spitfire he's driving. British Racing Green. And then look for Andy McLean there in that Bug-Eye Sprite, the blue Bug-Eye Sprite.
Another one of our regulars.
Yeah. This is a good group here coming into that hard left hand, then to the right hander that's a little bit blind because of the hill.
Yeah. Had a big IGT accident there yesterday, which put a lot of fluid down, but it took some time to clear up. But all is well again today. Perfect conditions for racing.
Okay, the 510 by Andy McLean. Now in this mixed group racing, that should be a Group 3 car there, and the number 74 of Patrick Crum, 1970 Datsun 510, red, white, and blue. Oh, but look at this, John Nash.
Already.
Quinn Derby. Quinn Derby's doing a really good job by sticking with these two.
Well, the Malik jumped out into the lead. Look how quickly they've caught him by Oak Tree, and now down the back straight he is somewhat in a precarious position. Well, look at him go there. That Malik really does have some good torque, doesn't it?
Yep, and that's a Group 5 car. 5BFM is what it's categorized at. And then we've got comments from Jared Campbell. Says nothing beats camping with your son trackside and watching all the action on your phone. Jared, where are you? We'll see if we can catch a little glimpse of you.
We'll send the drone.
Yeah.
Great, nice to hear some feedback from somebody here at VIR enjoying it.
And using the technology to stay, you know, because if you're here at one of the corners, you only get to see some of the action. So this is the best way to watch the race, because when the cars go out of your sight, you can look at your phone or your device and look at him sawing that.
Yeah, I love it.
The wheel, those are just such
sunshine.
skinny tires on that. Now we've got a B sedan from 1970 versus what I would consider a more modern spec Miata.
Yeah, just a reminder that, like you say, you can download the app, pay $9.99 and get the whole season as well. But $9.99 a weekend to get all the action from SVRA's app or the Trans Am app. But we're also live on Facebook and YouTube this weekend, and that's how we're getting some comments, which is nice. Yeah, well, however you're enjoying it, welcome. And feel free, like you said, to make a comment, tell us where you are, tell us what you'd like to see, tell us what you'd like to learn about, and we'll go and find that out for you. It's impossible with 300 cars here to have a background on every one of them, but well, certainly you have got a working knowledge, having been around these guys for many a year.
Trying. You know, something interesting, the top 3 in Miata yesterday, and I forget the name of the town, are all from the same small town of Virginia.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that was pretty neat.
BMW, Miata, Sprite.
Look at the smile on that Elva Courier right there, that number 59.
That's a pretty paint job, isn't it?
Mark Gobble. I bet you he doesn't like Thanksgiving with the last name of Gobble. I'm sure he hears a lot of dad jokes about that time.
Yeah.
And there's that treacherous turn I was talking about, turn 10. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of slip angle coming through there. It looks like the number 91. It's hard to tell. That should be Scott KRZ. And he said it yesterday. He was on the podium with us yesterday. So I'm sorry, Scott. I can't remember how to say your name, but in 1992, gray and black Mazda Miata from Midlothian, Virginia. Somebody just texted me. So we've got 3 top Miatas from Midlothian, Virginia. Something's in the water there.
Peter Uzdevenese.
Uzdevenese,
that's it. He's got something flapping out of the back of the car. I don't know what it is. I think it's actually just one of the belt straps flapping in the background. Just behind him, as I noticed, the back shot there.
Yeah.
The number 25. Down roller coaster. And into hot 10. And he feels wondering how some of these corners got their names, yes, there was a hog pen down there back in the day. This is a circuit that's been around since the mid-50s, so it's got a lot of history and a lot of great racing that's come from here.
Got to give it up for Peter Eustavinus.
Really, see that flapping?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a belt.
Yeah, I think it is.
Started 22nd. Where is he at now?
Well, he's just moved up to 9th.
Just made a place there too as we went over the stripe.
Yeah.
So let's see what we've got here. So Chris D'Amico is ahead, leading overall and leading in Group 5. Then leading Group 3 is John Nash, followed by Quinn Derby, followed by Alan Cassavant, and it's his birthday today. And then in Group 1, we've got Andy McLean, followed by Peter Eustavinus. And then in third is Todd Cruz. Todd Cruz from Alabama with the Mitch Bressler crew. Mitch Bressler is the mechanic that has set up a bunch of these sprites, bug eyes, and midgets to be their own little speck of racing. They're all set up, same engine, same transmission, same tires, same suspension pieces. And so they're always really close in their racing and very competitive with each other. As we look at 2 Miatas coming in there in the background with that Honda CRX. So we've got some front engine rear wheel drive versus a front engine front wheel drive in that Honda. And I just heard from race control that they're watching 3-1, which is that Honda CRX that might be leaking some fluid. And there's that Fiat. Oh, and Todd Cruz right behind him. That beautiful number 10 Fiat there. 124, who is in that car? Let's look down here. Doug Sanders, 1974 Fiat 124. And there's Todd Cruz with Zapata Racing, all the way from just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, about an hour out. He says, I quote, "It's in the sticks."
Where do you live? Oh, it's in the stick. It's in the boonies. It's absolutely gorgeous country right here.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
So I'm hearing from Mandy McLean, who is Andy's significant other, I think. She says, hey, guys.
She thought he was working today.
Regarding the race school, you should talk to Andy and Mitch. MSA Classics will rent you a car to do the race school and provide track support. And they've done that quite a bit.
Mrs. McLean, I'm in.
Yeah. So call Jonathan Green. He might be a customer here. I know Andy brought his son there, and he did the school.
Want to do it.
Here's the battle. You can see my GoPro in this car right there. There's Roy Crowninshield and that beautiful Austin Healey. 1956 Austin Healey racing with V. Carl George.
And by the way, that's what I want to race if I get my license.
Yeah.
That's a harder prospect.
Yeah. And then a 1959 MGA. And a funny story about them, I work with Carl George quite a bit. He's got a really nice set of cars in Franklin, Tennessee. And he sold a yellow Morgan to Roy Crowninshield just a few years ago. And now they're racing against each other.
Perfect.
And then who is in that Triumph right behind him? Number 44, like a Group 44 looking Triumph.
Alan Good.
Alan Good, 67th TR4A. And if I'm right, I believe the TR4A was the independent rear suspension in the TR4. So that 63, I think they moved to an independent rear suspension and made the TR4A. This is my favorite group of the weekend. I probably shouldn't say that since I also work for Trans Am, but the small bore is just a lot of fun. Here we go. Carl George making the pass.
Doing it.
Roy Crowninshield. Now, I was talking to Roy. He was having trouble with his overdrive on that car, and that could be the case. So there's Roy Crowninshield, and then in that blue Alfa Romeo making the pass. This is a weekend celebration of Caesar Cohn in that blue Alfa Romeo.
60 years?
60 years of racing. He started here at VIR, and he's going to end it today in his Group 8 yellow Alfa Romeo that we're going to have a big celebration on the podium here today for him. It's going to be a lot of fun. I went to a party where we kind of roasted him last night. It's cool to have Caesar Cohn here. So much history, and that's the 230 there of Russell Jones in a 68 Alfa Romeo GTV. Beautiful car. 230 coming around there at the Oak Tree turn. bend to control. 230 just came around Oak Tree.
So
doing a little race announcing and talking to race control at the same time. So the live stream is helping race control out as well.
Well, you know, that's all part of an historic weekend.
So Mandy McLean yelled at us last time we were here at VIR because her husband, who is definitely Scottish, forgot to bring me a Scottish flag, so I said that he was from Sheboygan. And then yesterday, Mandy, you're going to be more mad at me. I introduced him on the podium from Sheboygan. But we like
You're mean.
You know, no, it's not that. We just like to have fun together.
Well,
this is just a big family, and Andy McLean's one of my favorite racers. Just a lot of fun to have around. And his son, I got to brag on him, went to Belmont in Nashville, Tennessee, and is now working in audio production full-time for some really big movies.
Oh, wow, cool.
Doing a great job.
Well, there he is, Chris Domingo, in that Malik heading towards victory by the looks of things. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He was, well, challenged early on, but that challenge went away. And Chris Domingo, like I said, he and his wife, a regular entry to the SVRA, and he always runs that Malik. I saw him running around at Lime Rock trying to find parts for a broken part, trying to weld some stuff before going home before the weekend was over, and he found a way of getting it welded. And that's the beauty of this fraternity that is SVRA. Everybody's helping each other out. That's what it's all about. And that Malik is steaming along here at VIR. This is the final lap then for our Group 1, 3, 4, and 5B. Their second race, there's John Nash.
Yeah.
Great to see him working, soaring at the wheel.
Got a comment from Robert Mason that he has an MGA and a Miata that he autocrosses. So, Robert, you should be coming to our race school.
Ben's heading out to get ready for Trans Am. That's, of course, coming up. Looking forward to our first major Trans Am race, which is TA. XGT, SGT, and GT, of course. Meanwhile, Chris Domingo on his way to a fine day out. His second race of the weekend. Didn't win the first one, but is on song. It was Joey Beaujolad who won yesterday, but not taking part today in that Elva. So it's going to be the Malik 11B, the 1971 version. The engine right in front of his nose almost. I said, what happens when the engine goes wrong? He said, oh, that just adds to the fun. Now down on the back straight, he's catching some of the back markers already in the closing stages. He's going to catch that Porsche before the end of this straight by the looks of things. Bug-eye coming up the hill. So the field very spread out by this point. You've got Malik, you've got Chris Domingo going towards the finish, and then the others. Here he comes down the hill through the roller coaster, and then you've got the others. And there's that Porsche 914 of John Westberg. He's going to be overtaken as out of the hog pen comes our leader. And quite rightly, the Porsche just moves out the way. Chris Domingo will just waltz his way to a checkered flag and a victory in Group 1, 3, 4, and 5B. And I'm looking forward to our next race because we've got Ben in the grid and I've got the mighty Andretti alongside me for the race call. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with our lead up to Trans Am after this.